Now hear this. Now hear this. Today, October 11th, 2003, the USS Constitution and the World War II destroyer USS Cass and Young will turn around. This turnaround will be special in that the United States' oldest warship will greet and welcome our newest warship, the USS Chaffee DDG-90. Each one of these ships and the Charlestown Navy Yard will have amateur radio stations in operation communicating this event to the world. My name's Bob Callahan,
N1B, this is
and I'm a member of the USS Cass and Young Radio Club. And this year, the Cass and Young is getting underway with the Constitution, and we asked the XO of the Constitution if we could set up a ham radio station on board this ship, which we did, and we got assigned a special call sign from the Federal Communications Commission of November 1S, November 1 Sierra. And we also have a station on the pier at the kiosk whose call sign is November 1 Bravo and 1B. And the club station on the USS Cass and Young's call sign is WW2BD. So we'll be all communicating between ourselves during today's event, and we'll be communicating with museum ships from around the world, along with amateur radio operators all around the world also. The USS Chaffee, which is the brand new destroyer DDG-90, is going to meet us out in the outer harbor. And its captain, Commander Ailes, is a ham radio operator also. So he'll be on the air with his ship using his call sign KS4E. We have an amateur radio operator stationed at Castle Island, K1RB, and amongst all of us, we'll be communicating today amongst ourselves, sending traffic. We have signalmen on board all the ship with semaphore flags. And I understand Andy here just informed me his wife is a lieutenant, is it?
A lieutenant commander.
Lieutenant commander in the Boston office of the Coast Guard, and she's an amateur radio operator. She's going to be on board the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Marcus Hanna. So it should be quite a radio event today. We have officials of the American Radio Relay League here. And it'll be fun. It'll be a very enjoyable day. We have the USS Salem, by the way, over in Quincy. Their radio clubs are on the air communicating with us. Other museum ships, USS Missouri, USS New Jersey, USS Kidd. We have the HMS Belfast in England today is going to try to make contact with us, as well as some German ships.
So what kind of information will you be exchanging?
Basically, we'll be just exchanging signal reports on our location, where we are, because in the ham radio fraternity, when we make a contact with another station, we exchange what is known as a QSL card to prove the contact. And so basically, we just have to exchange your location, your signal strength, maybe your name, and we're on the Constitution and we're making 6 knots and that type of conversation.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Ready to go. Right.
Okay.
You had so this is where your these things go right here.
Well, first, that's where these go?
Yeah.
Okay.
First of
And
all,
we put it together where the corrosions stopped.
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And a 19-inch mag mount up off the signal bridge. Not exactly the world's best antenna setup, but son of a gun, the thing works.
This is an aft bridge of the USS Cass and Young. I'm set up on the with magnet mount antennas for 10 meters and 2 meters. We're going to be coordinating the signal operation, visual signaling from the Cass and Young to the Constitution and to the Chaffee. So we can all talk to each other via visual signals. And also I'm going to be working ham radio operators where whoever calls me on 5.2 and on 10 meters and give them a contact so they can get a QSL card. So my name is Mark Starr, my call is K1RMC, and retired Chief U.S. Navy Reserve.
Oh, you have to hook up that other thing, huh? Yeah, this guy Beezer, that's his name. He came on and I guess he's went through it all. Repaired it and got it all operating. We're not going to use them. We're using our own radios. We brought them a couple.
So there's more in there?
WQWT, K1RMC. Yeah, Roger, how copy? Loud and clear. Roger, I'm on the headphone mixer here and listening to you and 10 meters simultaneously.
I don't have, well, there's still more badges here, and then after I give them to him, we can start loading.
Yeah.
I was gonna say evolve.
I wish I could. Oops, that's fun.
QB1IPW is calling.
The only thing, obviously, is the data clock. We got colors. We use this one up here. So,
If we could be in that corner, we'd be on the way to your colors, all right?
This is the opening of the head.
That's a little bit better.
Okay, you're going to need to feed that to me.
We have.
One moment while we do a review. Roger.
Here you go.
So what do you want me to do? Throw it overboard?
Well, no, just because right now, I mean, it's firing right over this way, and if we're trying to do, I couldn't even hear the telephone just then. 1.2 to 1 all the way across 20 meters.
They did let us off.
Yeah. 59th in command, arriving. And a couple of those you saw standing right before you. So those are top-notch students. They'd be great. I would now like to introduce Miss Vanessa Shukis, who will lead us in our national anthem. Ms. Shukis is the recipient of the Gold Award and People's Choice Award in the 2002 Vera Scammon International Vocal Competition. She has sung a wide variety of operatic, oratorio, and Broadway repertoire to great critical acclaim. This past August, she performed with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir in Salt Lake City, Utah. She is the soloist for the Old North Church here in Boston. Please welcome Vanessa Shukis.
I'm going to make a call on
Stand by and hold that. After that next verse, right? What's that?
Please join me in singing this first
You guys all right?
N1S, N1S, N1B, we're going to stand by into the first situation report after the Cass and Young pulls out. I realize you're already underway. Constitution, November 1 Sierra, this is November 1 Bravo, Charlestown Navy Yard, over.
We watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rippling, the boats bursting in air, gave proof of the night that our flag was still there.
Young, let me get your call again, and I'll make you my official first contact. Over. Whiskey 2 Delta Delta. This is Whiskey Bravo 3 India Golf Kilo WB3IGK. Portable one. And name is Mike India Kilo Echo. And the home QTH is Erie, Pennsylvania, and we're up visiting today. Over. And welcome to the 18th Annual Commemorative Sea Trials of USS Cassin Young. My name is Bill Foley. I'm the Chief of Interpretation here at Boston National Historical Park. This year we have a very special program. We will be escorted by the Navy's oldest commissioned ship, USS Constitution, and rendezvous with the Navy's newest commissioned ship, USS Chafee. And this year, as in the past, our annual cruise celebrates the Navy's birthday, 228 years old on Monday, October 13th. We also celebrate our park volunteers. We are grateful to all of our park volunteers who contribute to Boston National Historical Park. And this year we provide a special salute to the volunteers who maintain the USS Cassin Young. How about a hand of appreciation for all of our volunteers on board? Most of our volunteers seem to be centered here in the Charlestown Navy Yard. Most of them tend to be former tin-can sailors of the U.S. Navy. That's not a prerequisite, but that's the interest, and that's what it is. And I see that we have a number of our volunteers from our other sites, downtown visitor centers and such. So again, thank you for being with us this morning. This time I'd ask everyone to render a hand salute if you're in uniform, and I'd ask the Bridgewater and Tiffin Brass Society to begin our national anthem. Very hearty thank you to the Bridgewater and Tiffin Brass Society and band director Mike Palmieri. At this point in the program, it is my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of Boston National Historical Park, Terry Savage. Thanks, Bill. I already broke it. There we go. In my short tenure here at the park, this is clearly the most significant rendezvous that has occurred. To have America's oldest warship, the Constitution, America's newest warship, the USS Chafee, and America's clearly finest museum ship, the USS Cassin Young, rendezvousing off of Castle Island, celebrating the 228th birthday of the Navy and Columbus Day, and the fact that we're all here and healthy and loving life, I think is a wonderful tribute. I did want to recognize some very special guests that we have in the audience today. We have Mrs. Luann Ailes and Johnny and Becky Ailes, who just came over with us in the Jeep. Hi, guys. They are the family of Commander John Ailes, who is the commanding officer of the USS Chafee, sitting out there waiting for these old bones to get there. Captain Ailes' grandfather was also the commanding officer of the USS Cassin Young during World War II, and so we welcome you and thank you for being here with us today. I'd also like to welcome some other special guests. Jim Conway, President of the Bunker Hill Monument Association and liaison for the Charlestown Community Veterans Association. Paul Berkeley, Superintendent of the Historic Faneuil Hall, and his family are here, I'm told. Dave Howard, District Deputy of the Grand Lodge of Masons in Boston. Don Haska, who I saw earlier, Charlestown Historical Society with the Grand Lodge of the Masons. Captain Chuck Hewlett of the USS Boston Association. Wacko Hurley, which I have not seen this morning, should be here, Allied War Veterans Council of South Boston. Dave O'Connell and family, a USS Cass and Young plank owner, and past president of the USS Cass and Young Association. Colonel John Yates, United States Marine Corps, the last commanding officer of the Marine Barracks over here at Charlestown Navy Yard. I'd also like to recognize Chris Gluty and Cassie Young III, who are here today. And I'd also like to recognize and thank the many veterans who are also with us today to celebrate this great rendezvous. The crew members of the USS Davis Association, Jack O'Neill and the Antique Veterans, and the volunteers who put together the signal flag and ships communicating activities. Especially our program participants, Bruce Fader, Sumner Wheeler, Commander Robert Gillen, and the Bridgewater and Tiftonal Brass Society for their musical talents. Thank you very much. And last, but surely far from least, a hearty thank you and a job well done to all of the fabulous volunteers that we have working with us all the time, all year long, and for as many years as we can hope to see in the future. Thank you so much.
Bravo! Bravo!
Andrews away and go Red Sox.
N1B from N1S.
N1S.
Yeah, this is N1S, USS Constitution. Be advised, we are underway.
315 COTC. Roger.
You move this in?
Okay, 18160, there's some folks chatting right now, but it's because they know we're on here. Let's just wait until they get a break and I'll jump in and then I'll give you a call. Is that okay?
Okay, we may be running low power, but we'll be available.
Okay, I'll give you a heads up just before I go on. I'll call you on 2 meters and then I'll get on 18160 N1B. Whiskey 2 Delta, this is WB3IGK Portable 1. Whiskey 2 Delta, over. Hey Mark, nice meeting you guys. Too bad I didn't get to make an eyeball QSO with you. We have to get going and start back home today. 7-3s and enjoy your time out on the water. Hey, thanks Mike. Take care. Appreciate you relaying that we were on the air to your buddies back home, and hope we work them, and take care. Have a safe trip home. Over. Roger on that. Yeah, they're having the PA QSO party today, so they're all up at the club station getting ready for that. Hopefully they'll chime in and say hi to you guys and Bob over on N1S there also. WW2DD, this is WB3IGK, Portable 173s, over. Break. Head breaker. N1S, we're ready on 17 meters. T-Mike 73. WW2 Delta, they're pulling your dock lines now, copy. We do copy that. N1S, this is N1B, we're ready for a situation report. Are you there?
N1S, that's 18.160 upper sideband.
F2, let's hold them in their current position until the Young is away from here, turn and out center channel. They can fall in behind the Coast Guard cutter Marcus Hanna. Roger that. Whiskey 2 Delta, status report, over. DC by command, roger. Whiskey 2 Delta, this is November 1 Bravo. You are underway, we We'll ask for a sit rep probably within the next 5 minutes. This is Whiskey 2 Delta Delta. Roger. Be advised, USS Caspian underway at 1009er, over. 1009er, very well, thank you. November 1 Bravo, Charlestown, Navy Yard. Roger, Whiskey 2 Delta Delta, sit rep to follow, over.
On the Captain Young ops might want to know.
Oh, I'd hit it. I'm a brickless driver.
So I've been looking at it to see how I get it on there, but she smells food when she woke up. This was where I went for the fire license. That's the bracket that I brought. The broad hole, the hole, and I'm looking at two.
WW2, USS. USS from Whiskey 2 Delta Delta. On the down bridge, over.
That's it.
November 1 Sierra from K0 Echo Foxtrot Victor and W0 Fox Sierra Bravo. I'll use the club call. Go ahead.
Okay, Vern, yep, we got W0 Fox Sierra Bravo.
Originally, I didn't want to try to get
And by the way, this is Pi, Papa India, K1 Radio Victor.
Originally, just Pi.
Great to work you. I'm really glad. Thanks for all the stuff you've done for us, Vern. We're really glad that you're able to get a hold of us here today. Great to hear you, and thanks very much for the contact. We are on board the USS Constitution, and thank you very much for calling in from Belgium today. ON6 November Lima from N1S. Hey, the WW2 LST. Oh, very good. WW2 LST. Great to hear you. WW2 LST. By any chance, is this Perry?
When we first arrived, and we're taking over at the Sheridan over near Rutherford Avenue. We walked over, we were talking about it on the 2 meters one day.
Okay, great. Well, great to work you on the LST today. Thank you, Matthew. My name is Pi, Papa India, and we're here on board the USS Constitution today for their turnaround cruise. Great to hear you, and thanks a lot for the contact. WW2LST from N1S.
This is November 1 Sierra N1S on amplitude modulation, calling CQ 40 meters and standing by.
My wife wouldn't let me go to a state
Okay, good on the 5 and 7. I think you're like more like a 5 and 9 here. We have a sort of a vertical dipole run up the halyard, and we are underway at this time. We just passed the Barnstone Coast Guard Station, lost Coast Guard Station, and we're heading out to the USS Chaffee out by Castle Island. We got a good signal. I'm glad to make some contacts here on AM. I wanted to give some of the AMers a chance to work this historic vessel. So back to you, AA1 VX from November 1 Sierra, USS Constitution. Go ahead.
Okay, Roger, dropping on a little bit now, but very pleased to work you and have fun out there today. It looks like you got a nice day. November 1 Sierra, Alpha 1 Victor X-ray, 73.
Yeah, okay, very good. If you want a QSL card, QSL to Whiskey 1, Quebec Whiskey Tango. That's W1QWT, okay? Okay, this is November 1 Sierra N1S, the USS Constitution standing by. WW2DD from N1S. This is...
He shouted down at me.
Because you're on the...
What he said was this.
Oh, I see.
You can't take no pictures laying there on the ground, Sonny. Freedom does not reign. Those who depend.
Yeah, Whiskey, correction, November 1 Bravo, Whiskey 2, Delta, hear your station loud and clear. How many of us?
We're a little bit on frequency here. Let me, stand by. I'm going to go back to 28,360, stand by.
Roger, Whiskey 2, Delta, standing by.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to go back to 360. I'm on 360.182. You're coming to fine here. How do we sound on the 10 band?
Oh, Roger, you're loud and clear. Just moving right in. We'll hook up there.
One Bravo, Charles Navy, USS Captain Young, Whiskey 2, Delta, sit rep, over. Go ahead, Captain Young. This is Captain Young. Speed 04 knots. Course 139er, magnetic. Coast Guard Station, starboard side, East Boston, port side, over. Captain Young, this is Charleston Navy Yard, Roger, out. Whiskey 2, Delta, this is Kilo Sierra 4 Echo. Looking forward to having you come out, looking forward for a great picture, over.
Yeah, Roger, good signal. We're behind the Constitution. They're leading this parade, and we're proceeding outbound at about 4 knots. I have traffic for your station whenever you're clear to copy, over.
Send your traffic, over.
This is Whiskey 2, Delta, USS Castle Young. Roger. From Sumner Wheeler and Dave O'Connell to Kilo Sierra 4 Echo. Routine, best wishes, and great success with your new command. From and to former shipmates of your grandfather when serving under his command on Castle Young. And a message, over.
This is KS-48, QSL R1, over.
Roger. Whiskey 2, Delta, USS Castle Young, underway, Boston Harbor, standing by.
N1S, this is N1ZMB on the Castle. N1ZMB, this is N1S, the Constitution, go ahead. Yeah, on the castle here, your signal's loud and clear. I just have a walkie-talkie with a portable antenna. You're loud and clear here.
I don't think so.
It's getting there, God. It's where they get it. I'm sorry.
This is KF6, okay? Over. Yeah, hi, Mr. Scalo. I just talked to the XO. He told me the name of the Rear Admiral that's on board today is a Rear Admiral Moe, M-O-E. Roger, sir. I copy Rear Admiral Moe, M-O-E. Over.
Whiskey, Whiskey 2, Delta, Delta. Whiskey, Whiskey 2, Delta, Delta. Maritime Mobile, over.
Yes, well done, Whiskey, Whiskey. 2, Delta, Delta, Maritime Mobile. Nice to hear you, Mike. Please, I'll have to show you if it's Mike, but nice to hear you.
We are underway in Boston Harbor following the USS Constitution. We just passed Logan Airport on the way out of the harbor, and we're meeting up with the USS Chaffee, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, DDG-90. I wanted to tell the guys that we'll be on CW 14052 at 1100, or at the top of the hour from where we are now would be 1500 Zulu. So we're going to give a shout out on 14052 in CW for any members that might be interested in working the ship. You got good ears there, Ted. Milt barely heard me in there, I think, and Bill didn't hear it at all. So thanks for listening out for us. G3TMN in the group. Whiskey Whiskey 2 Delta Delta Maritime Mobile.
Castle Island Constitution.
Castle Island, go ahead.
Are you guys going to fire a salute on our return?
Roger, Roger.
How many cannons do you got?
1 cannon.
Say again?
1 cannon.
Okay, roger that. Constitution out.
Approximately broadside of the...
You see Daddy's boat? Daddy's boat's way up here.
N1S, this is KB1IPV. I was trying to get in your log for today.
Okay, Lisa, you're in the log. And I'm sorry I wasn't here. I was over getting your husband was taking a picture of me with the captain, so that's why I wasn't on the on the radio.
It's going great. They're using their really cool Z drives to turn around in a circle here, and we should be directly across from you on the way in when we do the salute. So we'll be on your starboard side when they start doing the salutes for Castle Island.
Oh yeah, we're coming about. We're beginning to come about now. N1S, USS Constitution.
And put me in your logbook, thank you. Okay, what's your name, go ahead? Alpha, Alpha, you're from Leo.
Thank you.
There's going to be a guard there, Wendell? Okay.
I'll give the points. They want the points. They'll get the points. You get the points. You get the
Terrific. I can still read them.
I think we can do that, but I don't know how to do that.
Castle Island, go ahead.
Yeah, we're just getting the word that the salute's going to take place in 1 minute.
2 minutes until the start of the salute.
Okay, they're going to start firing in 1 minute.
What's the word that's being passed right now?
Okay, roger.
N1S, KB1JYQ.
KB1JYQ, Juliet Yankee, Quebec. This is N1S. Did I get that right?
guess you did.
Okay, you're in the log. What's the name there?
Sarah.
Okay, Sarah, very good. Got a good signal out here in Boston Harbor. I just wish there wasn't so much fog.
Dan, I know what you mean. I'm on the Salem right now.
Oh, okay, now I know who you are. Okay, very good. Well, you're in the log, and yeah, we got Bill in the log, and everyone's in the log. Here comes we're commencing the salute. They're a little loud. It is loud. This is N1S on board the USS Constitution, firing a 21-gun salute as we pass Castle Island. This is N1S Constitution. Delta Delta. USS Castle incoming. Okay, Bob, you are in the log, and jeez, they're still firing them. You are in the log. This is N1S.
Casson Young, WW2 Delta Delta. This is the Navy Yard, November 1 Bravo, over. This is Whiskey 2 Delta Delta, Casson Young, over. Casson Young, this is Navy Yard, Charlestown, requested rep, over.
Fire now!
OTC, Casson Young, VMO. OTC, Casson Young, VMO, working way inbound.
North vessel, Casey Young is inbound. Constitution is inbound.
Off we go.
We're taking OTC on port side to fall into position. A1B, N1F. Go ahead, Constitution, this is Boston Navy Yard. Boston Constitution, be advised, the captain just made an announcement on the ship here about the radio amateurs on board. Members of the Casson Young, Salem radio clubs, broadcasting to amateur operators worldwide, mentioning that there were stations on board the Chaffee, Constitution, Boston Navy Yard, and the Casson Young, over.
Thank you very much. Noted. Constitution, this is Boston Navy Yard, standing by. Navy Yard, Whiskey 2 Delta Delta, Casson Young, over. Go ahead, Casson Young. Roger, Cass and Young. Be advised, we are inbound at this time. Logan Airport on our starboard side, Castle on the port side. Speed 04 knots. And ETA approximately 30 minutes, over. Fine business, thank you very much. Duly noted. This is Navy Yard, November 1 Bravo, standing by.
We have a very special group from the Department of Veterans Affairs and from Memorial Veterans Hospital. I see them around. They do a ton of great work for all the veterans. Thank you very much. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without a representative from the mayor's office. Janine Coppola from Mayor Menino's office. Thank you very much. Also, sailors from the USS Chafee, America's newest warship. We have some of America's finest sailors on board from the Chafee. So thank you for coming out. We'll, in a few minutes, have one of the most important ceremonies in all of the Navy. That's a re-enlistment ceremony.
Are they stationed on here? I'm going to try and locate them. Alright, so it's considered a good station? Tough to get. Yeah.
I worked at Walt Disney World for 5 years, so they saw that as a good thing to have on a tourist ship.
That's you? What's that?
Now, what does that re-enlistment entail?
From the Armed Forces of the United States of America, this is to certify that BMC Surface War.
There was an amateur radio station set up communicating with USS. This is N3CSY. My name is Chris. You won't believe this. I'm on a very famous vessel in a grocery store looking at waffle stuff. So I'm going to keep this short. I need your name, sir. N3CSY.
Kilowatt 2, Kilo Bravo Tango 59. Kilowatt 2, Kilowatt Bravo Tango 59. Yeah, she was down on 14260 a couple of minutes ago, over. I don't think so. They just had a 20-meter station on board the Constitution, as far as I know. They had VHF and 20 meters. That's all they could put up for antennas, over. The name is Mike. Mike India Kilo Echo, and nice to work with you today, Joe. K2 KBT, Whiskey Whiskey 2 Delta Delta Maritime Mobile for another 5 minutes or so. The 3 Sierra India. All right, thank you very much. November 3, Sierra India from Whiskey Whiskey 2 Delta Delta Maritime Mobile. Nice to meet you this afternoon. The name here is Mike, and we're on board the USS Cass and Young in Boston Harbor, participating in the turnaround cruise with the USS Constitution and the USS Chafee, N3SI WW2DD. Ed.
Where's the Cass and Young?
They're in. Tied up.
They're already tied up?
Yeah, you're 59.
We beat them out and coming in after them.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob. Beautiful signal. QRZ N1S. Okay, the Kilo Bravo 8, I think it's Whiskey Foxtrot. You're 5 and 9. Okay, very good. Whiskey Fox Hotel, and we'll see you in Dayton next May. 73, and thanks a lot.
Constitution, go ahead.
Sierra. QRZ from November 1 Sierra on the USS Constitution.
We got video on the digital camera that Phil Temples brought, and that's about it. We have not had time to use your video camera at all, unfortunately. We've been out straight on HF, and I was busy on 2 meters. So
okay, looks like we got 2 stations ending in Mexico.
I apologize.
The 8 station, the one in Ohio ending in Mexico. Let me get the rest of your call.
Tell Phil that we did work the Waltham repeater from Constitution, made some contacts, and we went over to the Boston repeater and just made a couple of contacts over there.
Good show, good show. I will let him know that about that as well. Yeah, band conditions were excellent today. HF came in like gangbusters, and there was massive pileups on our end as well. So, in fact, I think we got about 3 pages worth of logging done. So it was a lot of contacts worked. So successful day overall.
Shot the old North Church in the back.
Okay, well, that's great. Well, I guess I'm the QSO manager, so I'll pick up them logs there when I get in. Boston Constitution out.
Boston Navy Yard out. November 1 Bravo.
N1B and S1 info.
Auxiliary 3, OTC.
This is Auxiliary 3, over.
Roger, please lift our Navy pump.
A1B from WW2DD.
Hopefully they got some good pictures.
Go ahead, Cassian. Yeah, we're secured up here on the dam bridge, so as soon as we get permission to go ashore, we'll be heading down.
Thank you very much for letting us.
Okay, I have I would like you to meet, he's waiting over here at the kiosk. This is Boston Navy Yard.
Charlie Tango 1 Zulu Lima, you're 5 and 9. Okay, thank you from Portugal. Charlie Tango 1 Zulu Whiskey, thank you.
Yes, Bob, we're securing WW2DD Radio Central.
Constitution VMO, this is OTC on channel 83, over.
Let us fabricate some freedom.
Carol. Just trying to. Okay, yeah, we got another station nearby that's kind of overloading the receiver.
Reroute United States State.
Can I have your prefix
departed.
again, please? The Juliet Bravo. Is that India Kilo 1? Okay, very good. India Kilo 1, Juliet Bravo. Thank you. And Chow,
59.
November 1 Sierra,
Departed.
1S.
back at the pier now, and most of the guests have left the ship. We got a good signal up here in Boston. KI4AHO. This is N1S.
Very good, N1S. The name here is Mark Mexico Alpha Romeo Kilo. We're located in Cape Coral, Florida, on the southwest coast around the Gulf of Mexico. Your signal here is 5959. Back to you.
Okay, very good, Mark. Very good. And your signal also appears to be a 59 here. And we're ringing a bell. I wonder what that means.
Constitution, departing.
Oh, the captain.
And come around tonight, when we get together. All right, have a beer. Because you'll be over there. That way. North Station.
All right, ready? Hold on.
I have myself one.
Are you ready?
November 8, Quebec, Kilo Q, Quebec, Kilo Echo, NAQKE.
Got it that time just fine. November 8, Quebec, Kilo Echo. We're 5-9 when we don't have the interference, which I think we're getting from the USS Constitution. We're located right next to the Constitution at the old Boston Navy base, and we're part of the celebration of the Constitution turning around and the fact that it met up with the USS Chafee, which is the newest ship in the Navy. It's not even commissioned yet. Your signal is 5-9 when we don't have that adjacent interference. The handle here is George, and I'll put you in the logbook.
Jeff, radio class, teach him how to do the CW.
So, let's take down